Hours after that shooting, Hermiston police still have the caution tape up. You see more than a handful of protesters. Their check goes from here to stores like this one. And today, a Benton County Sheriff deputy did come out to do that welfare check. The 2-year-old's mother, Crystal Christensen, says as soon as she saw that crack, she called the Kennewick Parks and Recs department. For you and I, triple-digit days are just unbearable. But for these suckers over here, well, they're thriving. Dead fuels in this area could also support those larger wildfires even into those later months. A Friday night shootout that has left one person dead. Lawsuit against Cadlick. Kennewick police officers have arrested a 17-year-old. The Benton County Mosquito Control District is actually flying over areas like this one. Give officers a bird's eye view of what's happening below them. Gifts. Thinking, Tracy, Scott, it is those cold, crisp melons, so I brought you some to try.
And they're delicious too.
Tracy and Scott, this trailer used to read Habitat for Humanity. That's the organization that's now left picking up the pieces to a trailer that was once full of tools.
Nails, screws.
Westwood looking back at the pieces.
When they move into these homes, their faces beam is something that really changes their lives.
North Charles Avenue. Take a walk down it. You'll find a place Wood holds dear to his heart.
Give me a high five. This whole area is called the White House Edition.
24 hand-built homes by the Habitat for Humanity for people like this little guy.
All right. Yeah. We strive for simple, decent, and affordable. But to them, it's a palace. To them, it's a dream.
A dream that could possibly be halted.
Walking over here, and as you see, the Dodge pickup over here was where the trailer was.
The organization's trailer stolen.
It was one of those good news, bad news things. We've located your trailer. The bad news, it's on fire.
Their trailer full of tools found in a ditch up in flames.
I felt like someone had kicked me in the gut.
It's now sitting in a junkyard. The only thing salvageable, a couple locks. 3 homes, again, are set to be built by that October deadline. But now this organization needs the community's help to make that happen. Several evacuations, like you just mentioned, and I spoke with a few of those evacuees today who say this is something they know all too well.
These are my sisters.
The Vasquez sisters, no strangers to Eastern Washington wildfires.
We've lived here since we were in grade school.
Mary and her 3 sisters, along with 50 other Level 3 evacuees, forced to leave their homes.
It's so peaceful down there. It's so quiet. It's a beautiful place to live. The only bad part is the fires.
Mary says every year the fires come, but this year a little earlier and closer to home.
And we knew the winds were going to get stronger.
Officers came knocking, and the Vasquez sisters started packing and headed to shelter.
But when I saw the red, I thought, okay, fire it's still coming.
Sisters leaving behind their 2 pit bulls and 20 years of memories.
We got our kitty, and we got Miss Bella over there.
Not knowing what they'll be going back to, but together, standing tall. Again, if you are an evacuee, you can head over to the Royal City Intermediate School where the Red Cross has food, shelter, and water for you.
I was thinking one more step and I'll turn around and walk back.
Rose! No, Rose!
I could hear, all the screaming from under the water. I wanted to scream.
Rose Hart sits on this dock today.
I was like, I could have died.
Alive.
I could have drowned. I could have been alone.
Luckily, she wasn't alone.
I was just scared and I didn't know what to do.
Her friends alongside her for a hike.
What'd they say? With the sun going down and the fact that, wow, the Columbia River is frozen.
Phones in hand, giggling, goofing off, having fun.
It just seemed very photogenic to us.
Trying to capture that marvelous sunset glistening over an unfamiliar icy patch.
Actually, I bet you won't.
And perhaps a way to test their limits,
rocks,
too.
Or are they bubbles?
Rose has OCD.
It's just never nearly cost me my life before.
She has to end tasks certain ways, especially when it comes to numbers. But on that 12th step, Hart falling in, and then their other friend, too.
I was only under for maybe 3 seconds, bobbed back up, and there was a hand grabbing me.
That hand belonged to Chancey Hyatt, a former Boy Scout who knew exactly what to do.
I had to get on my
stomach and just kind of distribute my weight and just kind of pull them back up.
2 friends still here today.
Losing them would be just awful, very awful.
We went out there today, now joins us live. Hey, Caitlin.
Tracy Scott, a woman close to the situation, called NBC Right Now saying nearly 50 horses were being severely neglected. The only avenue for animal neglect outside of county lines is the Benton County Sheriff's Office, but she says the case had been reported in the past, but deputies never came out. I reached out to the Sheriff's Office on Friday to see if a case had been documented. Lieutenant Matthew Clark said no, they had never had reports of it in the past, but if they did, then they would do a welfare check. What is the avenue that the Sheriff's Office does take?
We will send our deputies out there. We can say, okay, it's got an injury. We'll request the owners of the horse, say, okay, you got so many days if you contact a veterinarian, have a vet come out, look at them, get back in touch with us and let us know what the vet tells you.
Now, we do have to warn you, this video is very graphic, so please watch at your own discretion. Following that call, I went out to that ranch. The woman who called us walked me through a portion of the more than 83 acres where these horses roam. This graphic video shows animal carcasses left to rot. They're only cleanup coyotes. Another horse pinned up with a gash in its leg, a gravesite of scattered bones, horse hooves not taken care of. The woman says the other horses are given a mud hole as their only water site. And today, a Benton County Sheriff deputy did come out to do that welfare check like Lieutenant Clark said would happen. The Benton County Sheriff's Office found that horse originally pinned up Friday with a gash in its leg had been receiving medical care as of Sunday from what the horse owner had told the deputy. But I asked the deputy what the laws are for disposing of dead animals. He said he wasn't sure and didn't have a warrant for probable cause or neglect to go out to that property. I asked if he would look into the condition of the more than a dozen other horses on the property. He said yes, but only if there was neglect found from that initial welfare check. I also followed up with Lieutenant Clark to see if they would check on the horses and their water source. He said they are technically considered wild horses, even though they are on someone's property.
So skeletal remains